say you're in the middle of customizing this and you want to know, like, I really want to be able to change this button color, but I can't find where this button color is. What you can do is there is this cool inspect mode. And as you go over stuff, it shows you what variables are customizing it. And so you can, when you're on the thing that you want, you hit escape and it freezes it. And now you can look over here and you're like, okay, so I betcha this is coming from the primary button BG, right? So you click that, it copies it.
All right, welcome everyone. I'm so excited for today's episode. I have Tom Bristol here from the Marketers Toolkit, which we're really excited to demo for everybody on what it can do and how it can help your SaaS grow and really get that brand recognition for your agency clients. So without further ado, thanks for coming on today, Tom. First of all, I want to ask, how did you start Marketers Toolkit and how did that idea come to you? Were you serving agency clients at the time?
Yeah, I was. So I've had a web SEO marketing business since 2000, so quite a while. And
you still?
Yeah, we still have that legacy. It's not really being created on quite as much because we're all in on the toolkit.
Yeah.
But the genesis of the toolkit was 2019. I found HighLevel. I was like, this is the best thing ever. And I started to sort of adapt it for my dental clients. But then I realized there was all sorts of problems because they needed notifications, they needed chat widgets, all sorts of stuff that HighLevel had their skateboard philosophy, and it was like they had like a little remote control car for what they're trying to do. And anyway, so I started to sort of make stuff, and HighLevel was such a small community at that time. It was really cool. So all of the big names were in this tight-knit group. And so they started, I had all these people asking me, and nowadays, like if I name dropped any of these guys, it'd be like, wow, you were talking to that guy? But I had all these people asking me, and they were like, hey, could you make a better chat widget? And I was like, well, just go to Fiverr and, have someone do it. It'll be easy. And then I needed a better chat widget, and I started to do it. And I was like, whoa, this is really hard. And so I created it. And literally the first version of the toolkit was a bunch of scraped ads, some themes, and a chat widget. And that was what I sold. But it sold like fire. Like everybody wanted it. And we had a bunch of copycats immediately. And so that's what started it. And then it just evolved and evolved and evolved. Then it became our main thing. And we were able to, invest all sorts of resources into it. And now it's like this. It is the premier customization app. I think if anybody's trying to customize HighLevel and they don't want to hire coders, they're using our system. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I'll just give my little review here real quick.
Yeah.
So I actually recently switched. I bought a lifetime deal on the theme customizer a while back, and I just had something working, or semi-working, I should say, for a while, and I was just like, it's not completely broken, so I won't mess with it, And so it wasn't high on my priority list.
You had a different thing with someone else.
Yes, it was a different third-party company separate from the Marketers Toolkit, but I had just been sitting on this lifetime deal that I was using. Anyway, the camel that broke the straw that broke the camel's back was there was lots of releases, this year during Level Up, and it was 3 weeks later that there was buttons missing where people couldn't click things, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I need to get on. And so one of their support reps came on for an hour and a half call with me, and we fixed everything. And we got it to look exactly the same of what it was, which was really important to me because I had so many,
help you all up the way it was. Yeah.
Yes. And that was really important to me because I I have so many different graphics and videos out with my colors and branding. So that was just a huge win to me that we were able same day that I reached out to him, and it was the support was awesome. And then all my users are like, wow, this is a huge update and we love it. So that was a huge win for me. And the stability, just how fast things get deployed. I actually feel like my HighLevels actually feels faster now too. So shout out for you on that too.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So a couple big selling points on our theme builder is, number one, we have a ton of focus on speed here and making sure that it's deployed and it's a very fast download. So we use Cloudflare. And with the Cloudflare outages, unfortunately, that was not a fun time. But the idea is Cloudflare is everywhere, and we've deployed to using their system so that everybody's themes are sort of like, they don't hit a database, they're just cached and downloaded immediately, which is cool.
Mhm.
And then we also have a very dedicated support for updating all of the themes, like the CSS issues that pop up. And that's one thing that people say all the time about us, is that we respond to our support tickets and updates to all that CSS fast. One of our customers actually at Level Up surprised us. It totally felt like a surprise birthday party. He came up and he and a bunch of other customers had gotten together and created a customer appreciation, or like
I actually
some
heard
sort of
this.
thing. Yeah. And they surprised me. I was like, what is this? And they're like, thank you so much for making sure that our stuff stayed stable and all that. And so that was very cool.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
really neat. It just testifies to, I think, how good the support is. And
Yeah.
even in this group, like a Facebook support group, people will come in there, put ideas, and they're very responsive, which I love.
Yeah. And I think the key difference is that I'm a key developer, right? So if my developers don't get to it, it goes to me and I make sure that it gets done, right? So like there's this sort of like, oh, I'm sorry, Cody, why don't you get up? Come on. So let me show you here what this looks like here. So my wife just got out. There you are. Okay, great. It's all good. Anyway, they were freaking out. They wanted to get out there. So let me share my screen here, reading the tips that it has here. All right. Okay. So I'm going to set this up over here. Can you see? Yep, we can see the screen correctly here. Okay. So when you join the toolkit, this is what you will see. And we have a few different areas that are of high value. We're going to show off what the theme builder looks like and does. The customizer. The customizer is used for adding buttons, rearranging the menu, and a lot more of the advanced stuff that you really cannot do with any other tool. And then we've got the code library, which is a collection of hundreds of code snippets for customizing the members area, the calendars area, surveys, all that sort of stuff. We've been around since 2019. So this library has grown quite a bit over that time. We have hundreds of complete high-level snapshots that you can see here. So like you can literally search through all of these, and we've got a bunch of custom snapshots for digital business cards, support blade, and I'll show you some of that stuff here. We have our own website templates for industry websites. So now this HighLevel's created quite a lot of, quite a big template library. So some of this stuff isn't as much of a selling point anymore, but it's still kind of helpful to get started. And also you have AI and everything to get moving.
Yes.
Then we also have frequently asked questions. No, we've got some really good Chrome extensions, which I'll show you. Just remind me if I don't remember that. And chat widgets, which there's something in the future for our chat widgets. HighLevel's kind of made these not as much of a selling point recently. And we have apps, and these apps are incredibly helpful for managing your HighLevel. So I'll get into the idea behind that, but the idea is that you're going to have a master agency sub account that you build your website with and you sell stuff. And when someone buys on that account, it can then deploy your sub accounts and set up your customizations and things like that. Yes. And make sure things. And so these are all the workflow actions that are actually missing inside of HighLevel that you need in order to do that. And then announcements. So if you want to pop up announcements for your sub accounts, that's what that is. And we can show some of that later on. And then workflow extras are just extras that HighLevel doesn't have yet. Anyway, so I tend to go really fast. So if there's any area that you want me to focus on again, or if you want me to slow down in how I'm talking, just let me know. Yeah, okay, so with the theme builder, you are getting to see probably the first version of this iteration of the theme builder. My dev just deployed this over the weekend. So if you're familiar with the theme builder, this actually looks slightly different now. It just looks, slightly different. So when you get started, what you're going to do is you're going to copy this JavaScript and CSS into your version of HighLevel in the custom JavaScript area. You can then come in here and set your brand colors. these brand colors can be used anywhere throughout the system here. Then you'll come in here to one of the many different themes that you can pick. So you can pick a top navigation theme, a side theme. And then within one of these side themes, you can then pick a preset. And then once you've set your preset, you can then come down further and, set some of these other customizations as far as colors and, options for like hiding things and all that. And we really care about the ability to like stability. We really, really care about stability and your ability to roll back. And if things get messed up, that you can actually fix it. So we've got a couple different backup options. We've got here. So as you make changes, these are the edits that were made just to this solution. We call each one of these individual items on the side a solution. So as you make changes, it gives you, your updates here. But you also have under your agency settings, you've got system generated backups. And so this is your complete account as of that date. And so if I go to here and say restore backup, you'll get to preview that backup before you restore it and then restore it. So it's like a real backup. It's a real system, which is really pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And then further down here, we've got all sorts of great stuff like loading animations, which are all customizable. You've got themes for dashboard elements, you name it. We have got it. We have over 1,000 members, and that means that we've got a lot of people asking us to do things and making sure that this thing stays stable. So, and then as you go down here, there's all sorts of things, including like pipeline themes. I was going to show you. Okay, so first, let me show you how this preview works, because the preview is actually kind of awesome. So if you click preview here, it will open. Let's actually make sure that our starting point is set up correctly here.
And everything that you showed us so far is in the theme builder.
Yes, this is all the theme builder. This is our base plan, which is $97 a month. We've got different incentives, and you can get this as a lifetime deal, which makes it so that you have this forever, and it gives you discounts on our higher plans and stuff.
Yeah,
later. I think,
and that's why I got the lifetime deal.
Yeah,
and because I was like, well, then I can just upgrade and have that great deal, and it seems like a huge win to me.
Oh yeah, I think that the theme builder lifetime is the very best thing that can be gotten right now in our system. Okay, so here we're in preview mode here now. So this is the way it works. And generally this works best if you have two monitors, but you can switch back and forth, or you can set this up. If I can get Windows to do it. I don't know if I can do it while I'm sharing, but it's good if you can have it side by side in the windows, but we can do it just like this here. So if, for instance, we wanted to change this theme to like a black theme, it would update and show you what it looks like as you do it. And then you can come down through here and be like, let's for instance go to the pipeline, and this is what the pipeline looks like by default, but let's find pipeline here. So we've got pipeline themes, and we can sort of see what we might want to customize here. And because we are in preview mode, it'll update live as you do this, and then you can further come through and customize that a little bit further.
Yeah, and I think that's my biggest selling feature here is the granularity and the permissions based, and just how simple it is to be able to log in and change these things and then preview them before you push everything live has been like the way you guys create it is really slick.
Thank you. Yeah, I really have to give my developer Hyman a lot of credit for what he's created here, because it is really nice how fast, and it's just beautiful how it all works. So this is the theme builder. I could spend all the time on the theme builder.
Yeah.
Okay, one last cool thing about the theme builder that I want to show you, which is really awesome, is say you're in the middle of customizing this and you want to know, like, I really want to be able to change this button color, but I can't find where this button color is. What you can do is there is this cool inspect mode, and as you go over stuff, it shows you what variables are customizing it. And so you can, when you're on the thing that you want, you hit escape and it freezes it. And now you can look over here and you're like, okay, so I betcha this is coming from the primary button BG, right? So you click that, it copies it. Now you can come in here and go over to your customize area and search. And it shows
Super
you
cool.
where, and it says, oh, it's the buttons. This is what it is. And then now you can come in and change that primary button BG. So pretty damn awesome. So
Yeah.
that's the theme builder. And now we're going to talk about the customizer. Now, any other things on the theme builder that you think people might have questions about before we get on?
One thing to highlight, I think, is you can still hide things on the theme builder, which is super cool, because then you don't have to go searching for the CSS or update the CSS when there's a change. So that's also a big thing. One of the only things I hide is the Go collab.
Yeah.
And the marketplace. So it's just like turned off at this point. So I'm the only one who like adds marketplace apps at this point. So now I don't have to worry if there's an update that it's going to accidentally be showing it. And the only reason, just if you're watching this and be like, why did you hide the marketplace? And it's just because I don't want my white label broken.
Yeah, totally.
So that's the reason I chose to do that. And I love how easy it is to do within here.
Yeah. And that's a huge point. And I can't believe I didn't say that. But here we've got two things. You've got your rename and hide menu items. And so this lets you go to any menu item here, for instance, like smart lists. And you get these extra options of hiding it from certain people. So say, for instance, workflows. If you don't want your people to have access to workflows, but you need access to workflows, you can say hide from account admins and users only. And now you have access, but they don't. So that is huge. Also, there is a section in here that's quite large called hide and rename buttons and features.
Oh, to the hiding of user permissions. Can you do custom menu links in that functionality too?
Oh, can you hide custom menu links?
Yeah. For like only users, but not admin users. Like that's a use case I could think of.
I could do all custom menu links if you wanted to, but it would have to be all custom menu links.
No, just
the customizer is really where we get into that sort of a thing.
Gotcha.
And the customizer lets you do what you're thinking of.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So this is hide and rename buttons and features, and this is a community-driven area where you'll see a ton of features. For instance, in the contact details, if you wanted to hide the old payments button or the payments area right there, all you have to do is come in here and say, set who you want to hide it from. Or some people didn't like the internal comment, or some people didn't like the add card on file. So this is driven by people asking us. So we have so you just submit what you want to change in here. And if it can be done, there are some areas that you can't make changes inside of HighLevel, but if it can be done, it's very likely that we will just add it. And the benefit here is that you don't have to maintain that custom CSS. It is a huge thing because anything that's in here, we're going to maintain for you. So
yes, huge
massive win right there. Yeah, amen.
And the icons through your customizer you can change.
Right. Yes, exactly. So you can, here we've got icon themes. So here you can come into you can set any of these themes, or you can actually put you can go and find your own custom icons and put them in here. So, and you can upload your icons and all the cool stuff.
Yeah.
So the customizer, I know that the UI looks like it was built in 2020, and it was, but it's so powerful that, and we have so many people using it that it's been hard to pull away from this UI. It is slated to have a revamp this year, but I'll show you kind of the cool stuff that we can do with it. So first off, it lets you add in your own custom menu items. Obviously, HighLevel lets you do that as well. But the idea is that you're going to be hiding HighLevel's native menu items and adding your own in here, including having drop-down menus and things like that. So I'm going to exit preview mode for the theme builder. And I'm also going to turn on the flyout menu. So a unique thing about the customizer is we are, I think, the only ones that let you have slide out menus.
The only one I know of, yeah.
Yeah, or drop-down menus. And it kind of is a distinct thing to our system. Anyway, some of the features, we have a customization system. where you actually use high-level forms and funnels. We give you templates and stuff. And Virginia is actually in the middle of putting together this as a snapshot to deploy to people. So anybody can just import this. But the idea is it actually will pull in the data from the business and custom values and things like that. And now these are all custom values that can be updated. And so this person doesn't need to come in and edit this, but if they wanted to change like the colors, they would come in here and maybe they want to make it a brown. They can change the logo here, change that stuff. They hit submit. Now, if I hit refresh over here, right? So it changes live. And this is just sort of like pulling out the things that they need to update to get their account going. And I've seen a lot of people use this for, getting people to set up their ads correctly. And it's like just their step, checklist of the things that are needed. And then we have a great system. So this is called the support blade. So inside of HighLevel, so obviously here you saw the custom menu links that we're adding here. And we saw these items that have folders and things like that. You can add header buttons. So with a header button, you've got a lot of options, and maybe I shouldn't have shown you this scary screen, but the idea is that you can set whatever link you want to open in a slider, open in a pop-up. That's what a modal is. It'll pop up inside of it. Open in a full iframe or a new window. You can set like the width of it when it comes in, all sorts of cool stuff. You can even set permissions, right? So you can say only agency admins have access to it. Mm-hmm. But here we are. When you click it, it slides in, and this is just a high-level page. This is what we call the support blade. And it's got all sorts of great options in here. And you can import this as a snapshot and then customize it. But it even has like live support. And you're obviously putting in your own high-level chat widget here. So you can make this have, connect this to a knowledge base or whatever you want inside of HighLevel. Our calling card is we try and do everything using HighLevel itself.
Yeah.
So you can submit tickets. The support blade, Chris worked a long time on this. I think it's over 6 months in the making. There's a whole walkthrough video as a whole separate thing. Like he could spend all day on this, but he's using HighLevel to manage tickets and priorities and send updates to clients and all that as it comes in. It's a really cool thing. And as you'll see, it pre-fills and it gives all the data about the account when they hit submit. So you can track it and know what's happening. So that's the idea behind the support blade.
And that's custom, or that comes with the customizer.
Yeah. So the support blade, you kind of need the only part of the customizer that you need for the support blade is that slide in menu. It's a snapshot that you get with our higher plan, which also includes the customizer. So, but yeah, you get the support blade with the customizer to make it correct. Yeah. So header buttons, you can also, what's kind of freaking awesome is you can have folders. So you could be like resources, and you can add
like knowledge base, onboarding call.
Obviously you can go to like, like here, if we want to make this one, say we're going to make this be the voice AI, and we want to make another one for the conversation AI, that would be a great use case for this. You can add tooltip, which is really cool. You name it, we've thought of it if it's going to be helpful, right? So I've seen some people actually remove the sidebar stuff and have it all in the header. And that just sort of like makes it look different, which is kind of awesome. So like now you've got, drop downs for your things, and there's, and it'll go where you want to go. So another cool thing is contact buttons. And so if we go to contact buttons, let's take a look at what we've got created so far. So Virginia's building this out as sort of like a primary demo of what the toolkit can do, which is kind of awesome. But let's see here. So we've got, request an estimate, submit vehicle details and photos to get a repair. So this is going to pull in data. Now, other contact button systems will try and do this through the query stream, and we can do that too. So if you look at this, you have the option of sending the data through the API or through the URL. And if we say it's going to go through the URL, you get to choose what you want to send to it. So you can send the contact data, the address, and custom fields. And the idea behind this, I always geek out, and I'm sorry for getting like into the programming aspect of it, but the idea behind passing data, first, we got to back up a second and show a little bit about how this works. So if we, I don't know if this is set up. Okay, it doesn't have that installed. So custom values, this is request estimate form. And as a side note, the reason why she's using a custom value here is that by using a custom value, it makes it very scalable. Yeah, it just makes it scalable. And we can get more into that in a sec. All right. This is a great demo of what we have with the quick editor. I've often been told that the quick editor is the best kept secret of the toolkit because I never talk about it. But the idea behind the quick editor, I jump around so much. I'm sorry. The idea behind the quick editor is that it gives you access quickly for your users to get to edit forms and pages, and they don't have to find it inside of HighLevel. And the benefit of it is that it's white labeled to your system. So they download quick editor, they put in your license key, and then it opens up inside of your white label. So they never see HighLevel. They never see lead connector. They just see quick editor and it opens in your thing because they've got that license key. So what I was going to show you is you've got with HighLevel forms, it's pretty well known that you can pass data through the query string. So like if I build this out and I say last name equals Bristol, and also our whole thing. So like if I check this out, this is a really cool feature of the toolkit, of the quick editor. So with the quick editor, if I come in here, fail, there it is. Okay, so forms. All right, so we have something called contact URL. And so what this actually shows you is it's going to show you how to pass the data to this form. And this is huge for if you're building trigger links. So you can just copy this, put this into a trigger link, and it's going to work for sending all of the data that's in this form. You can also grab it and have, if you're sending in like someone filled out the form and this is what they, it's pre-filled with all the data for that right there. But this is segue, I can think here. So, all right. So when you're passing stuff through the query string, that works well. And you can do that with the customizer here by clicking automatically append contact data through the URL, or you can build it in there. You can put just that trigger link straight in there like I just showed you there. But the problem is that browsers have a hard limit on how much data can be put in the address bar. And so what ends up happening is half the time it works great, and the other half of the time there's too much data because you're trying to pass everything through the address bar, and it just breaks and it just doesn't load the thing.
Yeah.
And HighLevel actually has some problems where, for instance, they will not allow you to send the phone number through the address bar. So it works here, but when you go through an iframe, which is what we want to do, it does not. And I haven't been able to figure out a way around that. So the solution is to just set it to go through the API. So here, if we go and we select API, because that's the way it was set up, what ends up happening is you see that little loading thing. That's it communicating to the API, and it fills in all that data. I think this guy doesn't have a phone number, so that's why that didn't get filled in. All right. Okay, so going on to the next one, let's see what this one is. All right, so this one is going to pre-fill all the data, including an image, which is freaking awesome. You can go like this. It'll actually open the media library. You can find this, copy the link, and you can do all sorts of cool stuff with that.
Yeah, and if I could highlight on a couple of use cases for this.
Yes.
Because so a lot of the agencies that I work with, talk to, are in a similar boat with me, that they work with a lot of contractors. So I like this because it's so simple that you could get a secretary to like fill out this form and not have to go through the contact data. of like filling that out and making sure that she has all the, you know, the custom fields done and so on. So I really love that. And another great thing about that image thing that he just showed us is, again, just making it really super easy for anybody working internally for that contractor to like get to the images without having to be like, oh, where's that custom menu link for the media storage? They're just right there again. And if you can keep them as simple of a process as possible, you're going to be stickier and just have better outcomes for your clients.
Got it. Yeah, exactly. And then another differentiator for the toolkit here is, yes, we can do the tags, right? So like once you've confirmed, you can say, you click that, it adds the tag, fires the workflow. But the key is that it changes the state of the button, so you know that it's on, right? So if I click this, wait, where'd it go? Oh, here it is.
Yeah, it moved.
Okay, so that might be something to change, but it changes the state of the button right here so that you can see if it's on or off, which is kind of cool.
That is cool.
And we don't have it displayed here, but you can have drop downs. You can organize a lot of this stuff as you might want to.
Yeah, so I see a use case of that, or for like contractors. Again, I'm just going to go back to that because it's what I know. So you could have like you could literally like right there where his mouse is, make a forms category, and underneath that, so like a secretary or whoever's working in the office could just like fill out a form for like a new lead. Then they could fill out a new form for like when you've filled out like for an estimate, and then a new form for like every different stage of the pipeline, so that they're gathering information and putting it in here in just such an easy and simplified way.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's a use case I see for the folders.
That's a really good one. I like that.
Yeah.
And then, so that's just a few of these things. You can set the default page that people see when they log in, so we can change it so that when they log in, they see this system. You can also make it so that it defaults to go to, for instance, on some of my other areas, I don't want them ever to go to the dashboard when they log in. I want them to go to the review area. And so I don't need to build a whole dashboard. I just want them to see the status of the reviews. So you can set where they want to go, where you want to set them to go here. You can change the default quick actions that are in here, so you can add your own forms for adding a contact. You can do the same sort of thing with contact buttons inside of the opportunities area.
Cool.
So like this one here, we now have an insurance claim form inside of that system there, which is cool.
I'm sure you could do that similar thing with the media, so it's living in the opportunity.
Media? Like
pictures, videos.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool.
And then you can further come down, and you know how we've got these menu items up here, you can actually add your own menu items to any of these top areas. So if I come in here and say I want to add, obviously you can do a drop down, but here let's say in opportunities, I want to say, I don't know, I'm coming up with something random. And then you can put in your own system in here, right? So this is just going to be my marketing company. But like, say I do it like so. Now up here, we have that new button, and it'll open up whatever you want to put in that iframe right there, which is cool.
Yeah.
And then we also have all sorts of cool upgrades to the UI inside of HighLevel. So if we go to like another account that has a lot of pipeline things here, so a huge thing that a lot of people like is the ability to collapse the pipelines, or we have this minimal version, so you can just see more leads as it goes on. And so we've got in here all these features that you can turn on that are just sort of like nice to haves, right? So like address autocomplete and smart list.
And that one's not an add-on cost-wise.
Address autocomplete? Yes, it actually is not an add-on. You don't need to, it's not an add-on. All this stuff is not. So these are all features that people have asked for, or I have felt like, why is it stupid and doesn't do this, right? Like it needs to just be able to, for instance, type in the birth date, right? So like, this is huge, right? Let's go to the contacts. And this is, of course, in the new contact area, but like date of birth, is this turned on? Let's make sure that it's turned on. Oh, I said calculate age. Here we go. Date typing fix. This is what I want to do here. So this is a fairly recent update, so I'm proud of it because it took a little bit of work, and I was like, oh, I could probably fix this again. But the idea is you can do like,
So nice.
right?
Yes. It's the little things in life, you know?
It's little things, exactly. So it's all sorts of that type of stuff. And you're like, if only. Another thing that's coming back, I swear, Josh, people have asked me many times. I had built it, but opportunity-based smart lists. So that is going to come back. And the idea is that, I totally said that wrong. Appointment-based smart lists. So you can see a list of people that were scheduled for tomorrow or the next day. And then you can send them all a message saying, you know, we're going to be closed. It's a snow day, things like that.
Yes.
They're little things that HighLevel you'd think would have, but they don't. So that's the rest of like this area here. There's just a ton of little upgrades, blur contact details. So if you're doing a demo and you just want to use your main account, but you don't want to, you know, have to do some post editing or anything like that, it just does it all for you.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that's the customizer. Any questions on the customizer before we go on here?
No, I don't think so. That's such a good demo and shows all the, you know, features and how they help your agency to have stickier customers, I think.
Beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, so then we kind of touched on the quick editor. We haven't looked at the agency announcement app. That's one cool thing that I can show you, which looks really cool. Let me just see.
And by the way, if you guys have any questions while we're demoing this, just throw them in the chat and Tom and I will get them answered. If I don't know the answer, I'll just reach out to Tom and we'll get the questions answered.
Oh, we're live?
So what?
Are we live?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but going forward, as they're watching this, if they have
yes, totally. Yeah. So this is our announcement app, right? And it's a marketplace app, but the idea is you can target. We have all sorts of great stuff in here to target your users. So like target the sub accounts, and you can have it display as a, you know, a top banner or a pop-up, and, you know, customize what you want to do, have it say, you know, have them take it to an internal menu item, open up your own URL, set all your colors. And then, you know, how long is this going to, you know, be active for? And then you can even say who you want to show it to, as well as you can say like specific location IDs. If a group has a custom value, so you can be like, everybody that doesn't have their Google My Business set up, then you can target a pop-up to show to them. A huge thing that I didn't touch on when I was talking about the customizer, I don't know why I didn't do this, but we let you group all of your sub accounts by all sorts of great things. So you can target all of your customizations to groups of sub accounts, either manually putting them in here, putting them into a Google Sheet, targeting by a SaaS configurator plan, or even a snapshot. So you can really scale. And we have a lot of award winners that use our system because how scalable it is. So anyway, so you can use a customizer location group to target it as well. But let's just update this. We're going to reset the view history. And now if I go to a sub account, you'll see it pops up, which is really cool. And then we can also change this for a top banner. And the top banners look like this. Let's make sure it's not expired. Yeah, so this is a pop-up. So it shows you up there at the top. And you'll see this is the default dashboard. So this is an account that we only want to show the reviews area. And so they get their little pop-up right here. This will take them to their smart list because that's what it was set up as. Yeah, so overall, it really makes it so that you can.
And then once you click on that pop-up, it goes away on the top.
Yes, exactly. Like, yeah, exactly. You can set it up to do whatever you want.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for showing us around.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Carry on. I realized I didn't show you the pricing or explain that, but what else?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask. So thanks so much for showing us around. Can you go into the pricing structure, maybe any deals that you have, and what we got. And maybe is there anything on the roadmap that you could tease out?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, good point. I forgot to share a couple things here. So let's do this again.
Oh, and by the way, everybody, I have a friend who uses the Marketers Toolkit for a couple different things. And one thing he uses it for is he shuts off everything but this one section of HighLevel. That's what he uses. Like, that's one use case of like how he uses it. So he only locks them out of everything. And there's other tools out there that kind of does this, but this is cool because it literally shuts them all off. They're gone. Like, they cannot see them. So I love the way how Tom has built that in a way that, you know, you can sell reviews and like only show that specific thing. And so it actually works.
Yeah, and it's huge because you don't want to confuse clients with like everything inside of HighLevel.
Mm-hmm.
And you can really scale if you are selling one feature. But HighLevel like shove everything into everything. And a lot of problems, like I've had problems where they have good user permissions where you can shut off stuff, but a lot of times you shut off one thing and it shuts off other things that you wanted to give them access to. So that's where something that uses CSS or the customizer like is very helpful, right? So the theme builder is very, very cool. I've got two big things here to show you here. So, okay, first off, let me do this. I'm going to turn on our smart search. So we have been refining and setting this up to be sort of the premier system when it comes to search. And the idea is the problem that we're trying to solve is there are so many menu items and navigation and things inside of here. We do want to make it easier for you to get places, but we do want to make it easier for you to search things, but we mostly want you to be able to find things inside of here. So if I wanted to go to marketing, that's where it is. Or like, if I'm like, I want to go to the email builder, but I don't remember where it is. It goes right there. And now you can go straight to the email builder and it's available as a smart. So we call it smart search. You can search inside of workflows. So you can be like, I want to find a particular workflow, or you can search inside of funnels.
How granular does it search within the workflows?
Like I'm now in
like
workflows.
If you type in like for example, on like one of my users, she does like a mini chat like thing in workflows. So if I type it in her one of her comment blank, would that pop up?
It's going to go by the name. So these are all of the names of the workflows in this sub account.
Yeah.
So it would find any of those. So like if I search test, it's showing me all of the things that have that keyword in it. Yeah. And same with your search for like contacts, right? So those are all my test accounts that I've done on there. And this is currently being refined and refined and refined. So it's very fluid right now.
Yeah, that's super cool.
But a lot of work has gone into this. It's not just using the HighLevel search to do stuff. It's
how do they pop that open like an end user?
So you click on the search up here, or you hit K.
And it pops up. Cool.
Yeah. And what's cool about it is that it's using the customizer menu here, and we're actually really smart. We're putting a lot of attention on what the user has permissions to and what he doesn't have permissions to.
Very cool.
We don't want to show an option that they
don't have access to.
Yes,
Perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a key thing. Another cool thing is I might have to show you a different account, but we actually will connect the theme builder to the customizer. So let me see here. Oh, you get to see my whole.
I took it off for you.
Thank you. All right, let's see here. Okay, great. So now, okay, great. So this is a very cool upgrade. So when you have the customizer and the theme builder, we can set it up so that you have a different theme per group of locations. So you can have one group of locations for roofing, and they have a certain set of things that are hidden. And then you have a different group of locations that get other things that are visible, and maybe they have a different logo and they have different colors and different menu items. And so connecting the theme builder and the customizer has been huge. And we have all sorts of amazing use cases for doing that. And this is how we're going to actually do the multi-brand setup when HighLevel finally releases that. It's going to be available through the customizer to be able to have this multi-brand. So you don't have to buy extra things and all that. So
nice.
That being said, let's get to the pricing. So the pricing, the standard pricing is $97 a month, and that gives you the theme builder, and then $297 a month, and that gives you the customizer and everything else that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to go yearly, of course, it's the standard. You'll save, 1 or 2 months, I think. I think it's 2 months that you save if you go yearly. End of year special, this is available until the 31st or when we run out of spots. And so we have a lifetime deal, and the lifetime deal has come and gone. People always tell me that I need to get rid of it. And I agree, but there's a certain allure, and I don't know, people like it. So it's come back, and every time it goes, it gets more expensive. Someone got another lifetime deal today. So there's 3 of these left. There's 9 of these left on this. I put some hard limits on this stuff here. This is the prices for the holiday special. They're only available for those limits. As soon as they are sold, I am going to remove them, and it is pretty strict on how we do that, because I don't want that many lifetime deals out there. So that's the idea. But I think the very best deal is this right here, which is the Theme Builder Lifetime plus Agency Pro Annual. Now, Theme Builder Lifetime means that you get full access to the theme builder forever and ever. That's what you got. And you also get a discount for the Agency Pro Annual. Now, that means that when it renews, you'd be only paying $2,000 basically a year, which is a huge savings over what other people are saving or what other people are paying. So for you, actually, if you were to get the Agency Pro Annual right now, because you have the theme builder, it wouldn't be $25.97. It would be $2,097. So it's kind of amazing, right? So this is your price if you are a lifetime deal holder of the theme builder. And I apologize because I have not actually promoted this as much as it should. Like I haven't even sent out an email yet on this. So if you get this YouTube video up there, you'll be first to promote it.
Well, great. And if anybody has any questions, throw them in the link in the comments below, and Tom and I will get them answered. Again, it's $97 and $297 for the customizer, which also includes the theme builder.
Yes, that is the standard thing. And the $297, you know how you have like on Stripe, you can see what memberships that people are on. And so I would say 75% of our people are on the agency membership and 25% are on the theme builder. But almost everybody that signs up for the theme builder ends up upgrading to the agency membership.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Everybody could get their foot in the door with the theme builder, be like, this is so awesome, and then upgrade.
They get a little taste of what it is to customize things.
Exactly. And the stability behind it and support. So again, let us know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching today, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Have a great one.